My husband, Ben.
Patrick Feld, this is my wife, Kira.
This is Agnes.
And has some trouble communicating. He can be a bit insecure.
Nice Vespa. Yeah, isn't she? You should try.
Can we?
I won't call the fun police if you don't.
Went to an early showing Friday night of Speak No Evil. So, what did I think? While on holiday, Louise and Ben Dalton, played by Mackenzie Davis and Scoot McNairy, and their daughter meet Paddy and Kira, James McAvoy and Aisling Franciosi, and their mute son, Ant. Back in London, Louise and Ben struggle over Ben's inability to get a job and Louise's recent affair when they get an invite to Paddy and Kira's remote farm on the coast. Remember Wreck? The terrifying but brilliant horror film in which a camera crew get caught in an apartment building filled with zombies caused by a failed attempt to cure a demonic possession medically? And do you remember Quarantine? The American remake? In which the danger came from mutated rabies? Well, if you've seen Quarantine, then you know just how much of a letdown it is compared to the original. Well, here, it's the same. Based on the acclaimed Dutch-Danish production from only 2 years ago.
Nice to meet you. I worked for the Médecins Sans Frontières.
You're a doctor?
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Holland. You should come and visit us.
Listen, you have to come and visit. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah? Yeah. Done.
There isn't a single weak performance. Scoot McNairy is excellent as the emasculated Ben, while Mackenzie Davis shows far more charisma than her last major film, Terminator Dark Fate. Aisling Franciosi captures perfectly the manic pixie dream girl who is way more imbalanced than she appears. But the film is James McAvoy's. His Paddy comes across as a free spirit with a devil-may-care approach to life. But underneath he conveys unbridled rage, anger, ready to explode in a moment, all with the wink of an eye or a glance across a table. His recitation of Philip Larkin's This Be the Verse is a showstopper, conveying the violence within Paddy through the simple use of poetry. So, if the performances are good, what's the problem? I think it's the fact it's flat, gutless in almost every other aspect. Screenwriter and director James Watkins is best known for films such as Eden Lake and The Woman in Black. And he also directed the latest TV version of The Ipcress File. And I think that's the problem, because this doesn't feel like a movie. Shots are flat. The images are muted. It comes across instead as a TV movie of the week. And it's the same with the adaptation of the screenplay. Yeah, yes, it takes the same dramatic beats as the original, but to quote the great Eric Morecambe,
You're playing all the wrong notes.
I'm playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order.
there is a sense of unease running through the film, of boundaries and personal space being violated, but there's also a sense of boredom. Unlike the original, everybody here has to get a backstory as an explanation. But sometimes monsters are just monsters. While instead of coming across as sympathetic, Louise and Ben come across as self-centered and whiny. It's kind of hard to root for them, with a decision made halfway through the film over a stuffed rabbit that actually had the audience howling with disbelief. Granted, the same scene is in the original, but there it fits into the dark chaos of the story. Here, it really does feel like a desperate attempt to propel the story along, and once this happens, it becomes impossible to maintain a suspension of disbelief. While the original successfully got away with it due to the story being a study of the nature of evil and madness, The American version falls flat in its face with writer-director Watkins' decision that an American audience cannot take a bleak ending and decides instead to change completely the third act. The ending that made the original so unique and memorable is erased. The changes are so radical, so ridiculous, that the story becomes a mixture of Sam Peckinpah's Straw Dogs
Please, David, stop them!
Don't worry.
and that one scene from every episode of the A-Team where once captured, Hannibal and his men build an arsenal of weapons from what they find lying around. To the point that what promised to be a disturbing horror film, questioning the very foundation of family and sanity, becomes a series of comedy pratfall kills straight out of your average early 90s mid-budget thriller. Something I'm quite sure director Watkins hadn't foreseen.
I'm just sad to see you go.
Order.
By the time you get to the ending with a shot meant to be haunting, you realise that in fact it reflects how the audience must feel, having wasted just under 2 hours of their lives. Ignore the praise this quite frankly overrated minor film is getting in a month. Outside of McAvoy's stunning performance, this will be forgotten. Speak No Evil is in theatres now, but to be quite honest, with the original barely 2 years old, I suggest you track that down instead and watch it. Speak No Evil isn't the worst film of the year, but neither should you waste your time with it. I say, don't bother.
Please, sir, I want some more.
More?
All right, stop it. Stop it right there. Go on, fill up the bowl.
And if you liked this episode of So What Did I Think and want to see more, please click like and subscribe. Remember, always subscribe. Thanks for watching.